Hola.
Hola.
All right, well, we got an interesting topic here today. Have you ever been watching one of the Dreaming Spanish videos and said, I wonder what that means? And then what do? Do you just say, oh, well, I'll just wait and maybe it'll come to me? Or do you look it up? So we've had an interesting experience with this. We just thought it'd be good to share because we can't be the only people that are experiencing this. So if we are, then I don't know. Good job. but
Yay us.
yeah. So, but we're probably not the only people that have experienced that. So we figured, we would share so the other people out there who are experiencing it realize that they are not alone, and it's probably a common thing. So we just kind of wanted to share a little bit about our experience with this. We had to, we were experiencing the difficulty of knowing whether or not to actually look up words. So we did a little bit of research, and we wanted to share some of that research with you. So the first thing we did was, I guess, should we talk about what Pablo said?
Well, yeah, Pablo he actually has a couple videos about this. He has a language learning series. So if you're on the Dreaming platform, you click on series, and look for his language learning one. And he has, I don't know, about 10 or so of them. One of them is, should you look up words in the dictionary? He said that that's the most commonly asked question to him and the most commonly searched on his page or website, I guess. And so he answers that question. And then there's another video where he actually is poking fun of it. Yeah, it's kind of funny. Where he's, like, you're looking up a word, or you're like, entonces? And so you look it up, and then, meanwhile, the whole video is playing and you have no idea. Yeah. So in that particular video where he says, should you look up words in the dictionary? His answer is basically no. So, boo. Right. It's just basically no. He's saying that should you look up words, or should you just push through and keep going? And of course, he's suggesting that you just keep pushing through and trust the process that you'll get it at some point through continuously hearing it in different contexts.
Right. And so I actually emailed Dreaming Spanish. I do that a lot. They probably are just like, okay, here goes Greg again.
He does.
But because I figured, why not? And they're really good at answering. So so I actually emailed them just kind of asking what their thoughts were on that. And I'll read you their response, and if I can figure out how to be technically savvy and put it up on the YouTube video, I'll do that for you as well. But anyway, I'll read it to you now. So let me see. So I guess my question was whether or not what his thoughts were on looking up videos, looking up words. And he said, "Hi, Greg. Yes, the consensus is to avoid looking up words for translation. I'd say if it is not a normal practice and once in a while you do it, it may not interfere. If you want to be strict, it's just a matter of time and patience to come across that same word again and again till you get the meaning by the surrounding context, which is the idea with this method. So bottom line, try not to make it a habit and just embrace the gaps. They will breach with time and exposure. I hope this helps." So that's another opinion. And what you're going to find here is there's a lot of opinions that come with this. So, and I would say that another part of, I guess, kind of these things go together is translating. So to me, my definition of that is I'm watching a video, they say roja, and I'm like, oh, okay, red. Or, entonces, and I said, oh, okay, that's so, so that's my idea of translating. And so when you're doing that, then you come to a word that you don't know, so you go and look it up, because so they kind of go together. So we actually did a video earlier where someone had a great comment about translating, and we kind of wanted to share that with you. And I'll let Lisa read that.
It's from at WAHFLS. She says the translating in your head thing is completely normal. Not translating and just hearing the words as they are and just knowing what everything means will come naturally and happen over time. Try your best to not let that slow you down because there really is no official way to stop translating in your head. Just let it happen and the translations will fade. She said she does have one tip for everybody. Try to associate the Spanish word with maybe pictures rather than the associated English word. She said that might actually help.
Mm-hmm. Great, perfect.
Yeah.
Have you done that?
I've done that. When she first suggested it, I think I tried that, but I think I completely forgot.
Okay.
But I did try that.
Yeah, and it actually works. It's almost like you're watching the beginner videos again,
yeah,
because you start picturing it in your head, and so you just kind of forget the translation, and it's almost like it just becomes a part of your mind that what these words are.
Yeah.
So I think that's great. So those are just kind of three ideas for I guess thoughts on looking up words. We kind of had our own experiences. I mean, and we kind of think a little bit different on this.
Yeah, we do have kind of different ways. So it's funny how we have different ways of learning. But, I'm not completely convinced that it's a bad thing to look up words. I do think it can get in the way. But there have been some words that that I looked up, like manera. Mm-hmm. Manera was a really good one where they kept saying it and it was like, what? I don't get it. And I just looked it up and it means ways. So different ways of doing things or whatever. So now I hear it all the time. And it's one of those things that I'm actually glad that I looked it up. But at the same time, a few videos later, someone finally said it in a way that, I bet I would have understood what manera meant in that context. But I would have had to have been patient, but I wasn't. So I don't know. It's kind of, I don't like judge myself or Greg or anybody for looking up words. Mm-hmm. I think it's been kind of helpful, but I don't do it all the time. I think there was a time it kind of goes, like I had said in another video, how this is just a roller coaster. There's been times where I looked them up one or two words every video. Mm-hmm. And then there's there's times where one word per video. And now I'm trying to understand it by the context and guessing what I think it means and then looking it up. And then, so now I would say at this moment, being in the 300 hour range, I am just looking one up every 2 or 3 videos.
I like that smile. Let's keep okay. So, all right. So my experience. Well, I mean, I guess the kind of the point of reference probably for everyone. Well, at least for us, is that we had some, I guess, experience of trying to learn Spanish before we started doing this. So, in fact, probably for about a year before I was doing this, I was taking 2 days a week. I was taking Spanish lessons with, now she's my friend, but a good friend of mine that's actually from Spain. So I had lessons, I had everything. So I was just really used to, and the only way I knew was to have flashcards and learn everything. So it was all about trying to understand and looking up words. And so when we came to Dreaming Spanish, it still is a little bit difficult. And I know people have said that that's okay, and it is okay. But it is difficult to try to not have to translate the words or look up the words. So my experience doing it was I started looking up words, and I was going hardcore. Like, I got to the point where whenever I got ready to watch Dreaming Spanish, I pulled up Dreaming Spanish on one screen, and on the other screen I had a Spanish dictionary like ready to go. And so I would like start watching videos, and then I would pause it and look that up and go back and and it started out and I was like, I was gonna look up one word, but then it was like, wait a minute, okay, that's good. What about this word? Okay, ooh, that's a good word. What about this word? So anyway, then I finally, after a while, I was like, man, it has taken me like 30 minutes to watch an 8-minute video. So I stopped doing that. But I didn't stop completely because I had another dictionary that I would just be like, I wonder what this word means.
Because I wasn't afraid to look them up.
Right.
He was like, I'm not going to look them up. I refuse, this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
But I was like, I had the Spanish Dict. I don't know if you guys have that app.
Yeah.
But we have that one.
Right.
So when he asked, it was like, oh, well, I'll look.
Yeah. So that was my little sneaky way of still looking it up. So then after a while, I was like, I kind of stopped for a little while. And then I started back again because I had watched, I forget which video it was. But I do think they said that it was, I think it was the one that you just mentioned. Now, Pablo said it was okay to look up a word if you kept hearing it over and over again.
Oh, yes.
So that was kind of my way of justifying it.
Oh, there was, I don't know if I actually mentioned that. There was somewhere where I saw that or read that where he said it's okay if you're hearing it over and over again and you don't understand it, or if that word is so important to understand the whole entire story. So it's kind of like it's okay, but it's not okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. So I started doing it again, and then it was just too much. So I finally decided. I actually ended up watching Brian Black, who is he just did a video that he had reached 1,000 hours, and there were a lot of comments in that video from people saying, because in his video he said he realized, or one of his suggestions was that you don't have to understand 98% of the video, just keep going. And there were probably 3 or 4 comments that agreed with that and said exactly that. So that, I don't know, it was kind of liberating for me a little bit to be able to be okay with not understanding everything, because that was the goal. I mean, that's what you start with. You want to figure out how you can understand 100% of everything. So I'm back to not looking up words and I'm just going to trust the process, and I can't wait till I get to 600 hours and 1,000 hours. But I'm just not looking up words right now. I'm trying to understand as best I can, and I'm just watching. And one thing that helps me, and I mentioned this in previous videos, was that I actually try and just concentrate on the actual Spanish word. Like, what are they actually saying? If I repeat anything, I repeat that word. So in my head, it like there's not enough space or time for me to think of an English word. So it's like I just have all Spanish going all the time. So that's kind of helped me reduce the translating a little bit. And it's actually helps me understand because I stay focused and I don't wander off. So, so I think that's kind of, so the bottom line is there are 1,000 different ways to do it. We only picked 5 of them. Our hours, that's 1, 2, and then the other 3. So we only picked 5 of them. So the bottom line is do whatever is comfortable for you, because we live in the same house and we do something different. So, so figure out what works for you. And if you would, I think it would be awesome if you can just share what you do in the comments below, because we love looking up those things. And there are people in the Dreaming Spanish community, I think, can get a lot of insight from how you do it.
Yeah.
And there's not a wrong answer. We're not going to call it Dreaming Spanish Police. You're welcome to just share your thoughts and feedback, and we would definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay. Did you have anything else you want to say?
I think that's it.
Okay. Well, see, that still was kind of long. Dang. All right. All right. Okay. Adios. Hasta luego.
Hasta luego.